Hello. How's it going, chat? You guys had a great day? I had an amazing day. For once, I actually did have an amazing day, and then I came home and I saw the Epstein files. And they're really interesting because it makes you wonder why didn't they show them up until now? This is the contradiction that no one wants to answer. Because here's the thing. The reason they said that, and I kind of understand that initial point, is that due to the nature of the scandal, due to the public outcry, any single person that's going to be mentioned in the Epstein files, like regardless of what they're accused of doing, like just by appearing there, people are going to assume that they're a pedophile. And so their reputation is going to be ruined. And so they're saying, it's like, look, we cannot in good conscience release these files to the public because a lot of innocent people like Bill Clinton or like, who was the other Bill, the Microsoft guy, Bill Gates, shit. Right, so like Bill Clinton or Bill Gates will have their reputation ruined. And so we want to make sure that it doesn't happen. So that was like Trump last year. Like literally that was his administration. Now apparently the reputation doesn't matter. And so the question is like, how many more files have they not released? And also, why didn't they release these last year? The thing though is, some of the files don't even show crime. And so, like for instance, Bill Gates, right? I read the accusations. Apparently, he went to Russia with Epstein, and he had sex with some Russian hookers, and he got an STD, and then he asked Epstein for antibiotics because he didn't want to give the STD to his wife, Melinda Gates. That's not a crime. Like, there is no implication that the Russian hookers were underage. There's no mentioning of that. And he got infected with an STD. He cheated on his wife, right? Now, that's public knowledge. And it's like, why is it public knowledge? Right? Now, because it's Bill Gates, no one cares, right? But, like, imagine that you're in Bill Gates' position. And maybe that didn't happen at all. Like, maybe there were no Russian hookers. Maybe you didn't go to Russia. But now it's in the public space. Like, how are you going to defend yourself? How can you prove that you didn't have sex with the Russians? How can you prove that you never asked for antibiotics, right? Like the moment it becomes public, that's it. Like, people will believe it. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this, and this is very important, I hate Bill Gates, okay? Like, I hate everything that he stands for. I do not like the man. I think that when it comes to Epstein, chances are he probably did a lot of nasty shit, which is why his wife divorced him, alright? But if people are mentally trained to believe that anything that's being released is true, what's to stop releasing stuff about, I don't know, Donald Trump or Elon Musk or any other person that may genuinely not have done anything, but now people are primed to believe everything in those files as if it's gospel, without questioning, without having any type of doubt. It's a very powerful weapon. Like, all the DOJ has to do is to release a file with someone's name in it, and that person cannot claim that the file is incorrect. And even if the file is true, they cannot claim, yeah, but like, I spoke with Epstein, but I never did anything with underage people. Right? Like, it is genuinely possible that some businessman, like, given the fact that Epstein was networking and he was interacting with a lot of politicians and actors and singers, it's possible that some businessmen did go to some of his parties, and some of his parties probably were legit. Like, probably all the hookers there were over the age of 18, right? And the parties with the kids were different parties that he used for blackmail. But this is what happens when justice is done in the public eye. The thing that pisses me off is that no one, and this is actually true, like, no one actually cares about the files in the sense of them being public. No, like, people genuinely want prosecutions. People want the things to be taken to court and people to answer for that. That's what people want. Now, if I see a file that says Bill Gates had sex with Russian hookers, can I verify it? Like, do I know that is true or not? No, like, it could be a fabrication. Do you know who can verify it? A judge. A judge actually can have, like, the process of discovery. He can actually look into it. He can verify it. Right? Like, this is what people actually want. People want justice. This is not justice. This is a distraction. This is theater. Again, the main question has to be, why weren't these files released up until now? How many such files are there still waiting? You know, like, next year, are we going to get another dripple? Like, is it going to be like year 2039 and you happen to get like 5 more Epstein files? I mean, it's fucking ridiculous, is it not? Apparently, Musk got ignored. I did notice that Musk was very autistic. Like, I think this is what I think happened with Musk. I think they were using code words to say, it's like, hey, we got 16-year-old girls here. Like, don't you want to come? And Musk just didn't understand. I was like, what? Like, you got 16-year-old pizza? Like, what? You know? Like, he wasn't getting any of the hints. He wasn't really understanding any of the Morse code. There are no Epstein files? Yes, there are. They were released yesterday, apparently, according to the media. I find it interesting how they redacted the email address that approved Epstein for a hit on someone. I think they're legally obligated, though. Again, I keep getting this myself. People get upset that I block someone's names. Like, I make a video about someone, and I choose to censor their name. I don't do this. Like, sometimes I actually do it because, like, I generally don't believe that, you know, an account that has, like, 20 subscribers should deserve the attention so that they can get swamped from my subscribers when I just want to talk about some principles or whatever, right? But most of the time, the reason I'm doing it is because the European Union has GDPR laws. And unironically, the person that I'm talking about can actually file a GDPR complaint and claim, oh, I'm not a public person. Why is this guy showing my name on, right? Like, a lot of people do not know the laws and do not understand that on the internet there are people outside of America. We do not have free speech. You guys have free speech. You're fucking awesome, okay? Not everyone has the same benefits as you do. So, for us mortal people, for us poor Europeans, we actually do have to censor names. Now, I think even in America, though, if you're the media and you have like a situation where you kind of imply to the public, like for instance, the guy putting a hit on someone, right? You don't know like what the context of that conversation was, like what emails came before and all that shit. And it's not proven in a court of law. And so I can see why they censored it. They censored it so they don't get sued, basically. Right? It's not like necessarily that they want to protect the person. It's sometimes that the law forces. Because, like, I guarantee to you, the media would probably want not to censor because it's good ratings. I didn't believe in the justice system from the start, but holy fuck, my bar was very low. I'll tell you how the justice system works, okay? Because I actually been to law school. There's actually like several types of justice systems. I do think like America has fewer than Romania. But the first justice system is the corruption, right? Now, you need to understand when you say corruption, a lot of people think, oh, so you're going to the judge and you're bribing the judge. No, that's not how it works, okay? Like, we're civilized now. We don't do that anymore. You don't bribe the judge. What you do in Romania, and I don't know if you can do it in America as well. There are a lot of cases where judges retire. You know, they get a little bit old, like maybe 60, 65. They retire. And they still want to work, but they don't want to be a judge, because like being a judge is very difficult. Like it's a lot of work. And so they become a lawyer. Like nothing wrong with that. But here's the thing. If you are a judge and you work with other judges and they're your colleagues and you know them, and now you're a lawyer and you go with your client to the same judge that used to come to your Thanksgiving dinner and knows your wife and everything, and you bring your client there, how likely is it that not necessarily you may win the case, but like the judge is definitely going to look a little bit more favorable to you and your client? Like, even if it's not corruption, it's still human nature, right? Because like, you know the guy, like you're going to treat him differently. He's the lawyer that when the trial is over, you go to his house and you eat his wife's lasagna. This is a guy that you actually speak with, right? And so, based on human nature, you have an advantage. But in reality, it's more than an advantage. It's how the grift works, right? Because everyone knows that when they will get old and when they will become lawyers, they're going to get more customers, specifically because their colleagues are going to be a little more motivated. This is how corruption works, okay, in the judicial system. People that are in the know have an advantage. In America, I think it's a little bit different. In America, if I'm not mistaken, like judges, they actually run like politicians, and you gotta you gotta like vote for them and shit. And so like they have campaigns, so you have like entire law firms that just happen to donate either directly or through intermediaries to the judges. And so like, if you find out which lawyer donated to which judge, then you can get the lawyer from that point, and it's like, right? So that's like the corruption in the legal system. Like, there's obviously more to it, but this is just the basics. So some people get more justice than others using this tactic. The other one is the justice that actually works. But the justice that actually works also has ups and downs. You gotta understand, like, judges are human. If you happen to commit a crime, like, let's say you have a car crash, okay? Maybe you killed someone or you hospitalized someone, but whatever the case may be, now you have to show up in court. For you, it's a traumatic event. Like, you ran someone over with a car. You see it, like, you didn't mean to, right? Like, you didn't want to do it, but it happened, and you see it in your mind, you're replaying it over and over, and you know you're going to be in front of a judge. So you're going in front of a mirror, you're pleading your case, you're thinking like, oh my God, I can't go to prison. Your Honor, please, give me probation. I didn't mean it. Like, you have your story. Okay, that's what most people think when they think about justice. They think about themselves in the position where it can happen that you reach in front of a judge, and what are you going to say? But like, let's put ourselves in the position of the judge. Okay? Like, you're the judge. You have seen over 10,000 similar cases. Like, a guy running someone over with a car, that's another Tuesday. You get cases like this, like 6, maybe 7 times per day. And on top of that, you have other cases, right? So, like, you're absolutely swamped. And you get into the courthouse, and it's like an assembly line. It's like, next. Like, you just see case after case after case after case. Do you think when the guy with the car crash comes up that you're going to actually sit, listen, and experience the case with him? That you're going to... No, you're probably going to talk with your colleague about his wife's lasagna. You're probably going to, like, think, okay, I got like 3 more cases coming up. What time is it? Is it like 2 p.m.? Shit, like, what if I'm not going to make it? A lot of the time, the judges don't even listen to you. And again, this is not because, like, the judges are evil or they're corrupt. It's just like the way the system works and the way it grinds people. And this is true in every country, right? And so, for a judge, the number between 2 and 4 is very small. For you, it's either 2 years of your life or 4 years of your life. You feel me? Right? So, you can end up with a judge that's in a bad mood. Or you can end up with a judge that just argued because his colleague doesn't want to let him come home to him and eat the wife's lasagna. Or maybe he was just not listening to you. He was thinking of something else. Boom, you get a sentence. Okay? So, is it fair? Maybe not. Like, you can see another person with the exact same case as yours, with the exact same thing happening, and they have like a smaller sentence than you. Why? Well, because the judge was in a different mood. And it's legal, by the way, right? Because like judges have a range, like 2 years to 4 years, and while they're in that range, it's legal. So like one judge gives you 2 years, another judge could give you 3.5. It depends on your RNG. So is this lawful? It is, right? So okay, we got corruption, we got this shit, and then you have the politics. Now the politics, they're a different beast. The politics are SCOTUS. The politics is trialing Donald Trump. The politics can even involve trialing Don Lemon, although like this is a smaller fish. The politics is like, okay, what happens if we ban Roe v. Wade? Well, I mean, if you do it at the peak of wokeness, when people were hyper woke, like before the Biden era, you can end up with cities on fire. You can end up with Black Lives Matter shit. Okay? But what happens if you ban Roe v. Wade after the pandemic? After every single person was like, well, actually, my body, not your choice. Your body, my choice. I'm going to vaccinate the living shit out of you. If you then do that, you get a different response, right? With Donald Trump. Like, Donald Trump is also an excellent case. Like, he was going to get persecuted. And I'm pretty sure that if he wasn't elected as president, like if he failed the campaign, he would have been arrested in New York. I know it, you know it, everyone knows it, it's what would have happened. But he becomes president. Now the judge has to think, okay, what if I do arrest him? What if I convict him? What happens then? Well, I mean, it would have been very interesting because he would have been convicted for a state crime, which means he would have to go to state prison. He wouldn't be able to exonerate himself because the president can only exonerate federal crimes. And so you end up in a situation where the president is in prison and he can't govern. And like, what are the accommodations? How do you bring the Secret Service in? The only person that could have exonerated him would have been Zorhan. Well, no, hold on, not Zorhan. He's the mayor of New York. He's not the governor of New York. Whoever the fuck is the governor of New York. That would have been the only person that could have exonerated him, right? Now, the judge is aware of this, right? And he's not going to make the decision on whether or not Donald J. Trump has committed a crime. If I'm not mistaken, they actually said this on their motivation, right? Now, here's the thing. This is not how the law is supposed to work. Like, you can ask any legal professor, any, professor at a university of law, anyone. This is not how the law is supposed to work. You're not supposed to say, well, yeah, I mean, technically, everyone is equal under the law except for this guy because he's a politician. Like, right? Like, no one thinks like that. But in reality, they do. And so, when you say that the judicial system is shit, well, you got, like, the political judicial system, which, I mean, the whole thing with Donald Trump getting persecuted, like, that was also political, right? Like, if he was not running for president, everyone knows that nothing would have happened to him, right? So, like, you have the political one, you have the grift, and then you have, like, the actual justice system, which at least tries to work as normal, but due to the nature where you're a judge and you see, like, case after case after case, and you get disincentivized, that it not always works, right? And it depends on the judge's mood, and I don't think you can eliminate this unless you eliminate human nature. Right. Give me 1 second so I can share my live stream, because apparently I forgot to do that. All right. Done. Point is that once enough power is involved, the law stops working as law and decision making becomes mostly detrimental political consideration. The thing is that I noticed when you have different factions in a country, that's when the citizens actually benefit. So the common folk benefit when the government isn't united. Every single government has different factions in it, and it's not necessarily like the Democrats versus Republican. It can be like the war hawks. It can be the neocons. It can be the progressives, right? When the factions are struggling for power and they're not aligned, that's when the system works as intended. When you don't have that, when it's like one faction dominating and they're not afraid of anything, then you get Scat Francisco. We need to get rid of about 90% of the laws. They should have a time limit or something. Yes, in Europe, we have sunset clauses. Not every single nation does. But it is a good idea to have like a sunset clause. And whenever the law is being renegotiated, then people have to ask, did this law accomplish what it was supposed to do? Unfortunately, America will never have that, because 90% of the laws would be repealed. Like for example, you guys passed the COPA Act. The COPA Act is making platforms liable for promoting prostitution, right? So like human trafficking. On the paper, it sounds good. Like, why wouldn't you pass something like that? But if you actually look, like, has it stopped human trafficking? Well, the answer is no. What it has done instead, it got platforms jumpy, and they started getting Visa and MasterCard to upgrade their TOS, and you have like more censorship, but there is no decline in prostitution, right? Should this law be reviewed? Yes. Is it going to be reviewed? No. Banning is a one-way street. Like, once something is banned, most politicians don't want to unban it, because, again, most laws that upgrade on moral grandstanding, people do it because it's cheap. Like, it costs you nothing to moral grandstand. But when you want to revert it because you show that the law didn't do anything positive, well, then you're viewed as an immoral person. Case in point, the robust age verification laws in the UK. Like, everyone knows at this point that they're done there in order to remove internet anonymity. Children, they still manage to bypass them. People install VPNs. But most boomers, they go on the internet without using any sort of protection. And so the law doesn't do what it's supposed to do. Most people don't like it. Is it going to be reviewed? No. If someone comes up, I think like Nigel Farage came up and said, yeah, I want to repeal this. Immediately, oh, he's a pedo. Oh, he wants children to be in danger. Right? Like, this is how it works. Now, if the laws were actually supposed to be reviewed, and you were like going through a process of reviewing hundreds of laws, then people wouldn't be able to pick on every single one. Yeah, Obamacare, right? Like, if you want a doctor, you can keep your doctor. It's like, okay, well, did people keep the doctor? No. Can you review the law? Can you do an audit? No. 10 Canadians from CGR 902. Thank you very much. I just thought I would let you know that I managed to carry my ban on the banking proposal all the way to National Conservative Party conversation and got it adopted as policy. Chads, make a difference. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. That is so fucking awesome. Holy shit. Holy shit. So you have a ban on the banking. You managed to de-weaponize Justin Trudeau, which used this as a powerful tool against the truckers that were honking way too much. And you looked at that and you said, this is not fair. This is not just. This is not going to happen in my country. And you forwarded it and you carried it all the way to the Conservative Policy Convention. That is fucking wild. We're talking about justice, SRC Baker. We also talked about Trump getting arrested in New York. I am so sad that it didn't happen, because it would have been funny. Like, I know, like, many people would have been upset to see Donald Trump in prison, but it would have been so fucking funny, though. Like, seriously, like, you would cause a case where the president has to govern from prison. Um, there is no constitutional precedent for this. Um, the interesting part is, can he though? And the answer is yes and no. Now, they could have declared him unfit, right? So, like, you can actually do this. Like he's not fit to govern because he's in prison. Like, he can't go to the White House. But the problem is, like, the people voted for him despite knowing he would be in prison. And so, if you declare him unfit, you're kind of like, you can do it legally, but spiritually, it's kind of unconstitutional. So, anyway, let's say that they don't declare him unfit and he has to govern. How does he do it? Well, they could, in theory, build him a new prison, or like evacuate everyone from that prison and make the prison into an Oval House, right? Like you have the Oval Office, you have everything, and he governs through the vice president. Like whenever Donald Trump would have to go to a meeting, he doesn't go personally because he's in prison. He says J.D. Vance, right? But that would also complicate things because everyone is supposed to be equal under the law. And you can't just have like a situation where, okay, well, he's president, so he's not going to stay in a cell with a cellie and he's not going to endure the punishment that everyone that goes to prison is supposed to endure. Instead, he's going to, well, like, have the run of the place. He's going to be like under house arrest. Like, So, the only way to wing it and have it properly would be for him to actually be in prison with the Secret Service staff and receive daily visits from the vice president where he would have governed. I would have wanted to see it. It would have been funny. Călin Georgescu, no. Călin Georgescu in Romania, they handled that by just flat out saying no. Like, they didn't care about the Constitution, they didn't care about anything. So, like, in my country, they just canceled the elections. It's just like that. It's like, no, you're going to vote again. Why? We didn't like the results. The Russians were dominating us on TikTok. Okay. Really? Yes. Yeah, vote again. Well, we voted again. That's democracy, you know. They saved democracy, so. Jankus, you're going to run out of money. Like, what do you do for a living? How do you have so much cash? I mean, CGR, I know how he manages to have so much cash. He's a lobbyist. That's how he got the Conservative Party to adopt his legislation. He probably made a very generous donation. But Jankus, you haven't had any type of legislation getting passed. And so, like, how do you do it? They can parole him. But what if they don't want to? No, like, this is my question. What if, like, at every step of the way, they literally hate his guts? Because most of the judges are activists. They're left-wing. We're talking about New York. And so, well, what if, like, literally, the governor doesn't want to pardon him? The judge doesn't want to parole him. They want him to learn his lesson. Jankus the Great, $5. The Act Man said some crazy stuff. Yeah, so let me see if I can find it, because I believe I did respond to him. The Act Man, I genuinely believe a lot of the shit he is saying, he doesn't mean it. He just knows that it's going to generate buzz. And as you can see here, he's got 8.3 thousand likes, okay? So either he is botting like there's no tomorrow, or he does have a large fan base. I mean, he's got, let's see, well, he doesn't have that many subscribers. Pipa is following him? Pipa, what the fuck? Why are you following? Pipa, I'm not saying you shouldn't, as in, like, disassociate with the man. No. I'm wondering, like, how can you remain sane? Pipa, if you're watching this, how are you not a schizo yet? Like, what type of meds do you need to take in order to have the Act Man on your timeline and still be able to have streams? Like, I would go loco. I already, like, have people hurting me. Like, this is abuse, by the way, like giving me Ackman tweets. I really don't like this, right? Like, when I go to bed, I still see the tweet, and I wonder, like, Jesus, is the mother of retards really always pregnant? Like, nonstop? But anyway, right, so, kind of crazy to think that everyone is talking about how the world is run by pedophiles on an app that is owned by a pedophile. Now, again, this is because Elon Musk apparently was in an email with Epstein, where Epstein was inviting him to parties. But there's no evidence that Elon Musk has gone to parties. There's no judge that had a jury which found the defendant guilty. There's nothing, right? But this is like the new Anglosphere, where even if it's like an accusation, they know for sure. It's almost as if it's happened. And all of this started since the Me Too era. Like, my generation was a little bit different. My generation was like, okay, well, where's the evidence? Well, there is no evidence, but we know. It's like, okay, well, if we know, we're still going to assume that innocent until proven guilty. Like, that thing existed at a point. Someone decided to put it there for a reason. Right? Like, and people genuinely believe in that. It wasn't like innocent until proven guilty, but like, no, actually we do cancel culture. No. Like, people unironically believe that unless you have strong evidence, you cannot accuse someone of being a pedophile. And in the case of Elon Musk, like, I'm sorry, there is no strong evidence. Like, most people don't believe it. And even with Donald Trump, they don't believe it. But I mean, the act that it's like kind of crazy how people are using the platform while he is using the platform. And this is why I definitely think that he knows what he is doing, right? Like, this is why you point out hypocrisy. It's not because, oh, well, you know, like, he's not a person of good character. No, I think he's a manipulative person. Like, when people are hypocrites, I do think they have an agenda and they want to manipulate others. It's not about morality, right? Because, like, this is what he's doing. He's grandstanding. He's like, well, look how moral I am. I would never support a pedophile, unlike the people that use this platform. And then he uses the platform, right? Like, I don't think Elon Musk is a pedophile. He does. He unironically does believe that. And he uses the platform. What does that say about himself? And to be honest, you know, not that I would have a problem with using the platform, even if Elon Musk was. If Elon Musk happened to be a pedophile, I would say, okay, he needs to be convicted, he needs to be arrested, and while he's in prison, I would still use his platform. The fuck does one have to do with another? What does the mayor stamp have to do with the cow's asshole? I don't get it. Like, what is this mentality? Oh, well, he's a pedophile. Like, okay, put him in prison, right? Did the platform molest kids? No, I'll use the platform then. The fuck? SRC Maker, thank you for the $10. Great movie idea. Trump issues an order to the military to just break him out of jail. Would be fucking funny. I think he can do it. But I think, like, Congress can also... I don't know, like, I mean, in theory he could, but in practice, he would, like, what? He would declare the Insurrection Act, but, like, New York wouldn't be insurrecting, right? Like, if the trial for him to get in prison is legal, and a jury finds him guilty, and he is in a New York prison serving his time, if he asks the military to break him out, he is actually committing a crime. Like he would be going after a state without Congress approval, without that state actually doing anything illegal, right? So I'm just saying it's a little bit more complex the more you think about it. I have become really skeptical about innocent until proven guilty. Well, I hope you get to live in the country you want to live, man. Like, we already had communism here, and they didn't believe about innocent until proven guilty. I mean, look at Georgescu, yeah, and others. And by the way, I don't even like Georgescu, but it's like just an example. If you really love and adore cancel culture, like, what can I say? Like, I hope you enjoy it. I know you're in a shit city, Constanza, which is very progressive, and I do hope you benefit at maximum from the culture that you want to benefit. I hope that Constanza becomes like Cluj, actually. I think you can become even more progressive. Um, anyway, I'd rather take it over guilty until proven innocent. Well, I mean, this is literally what we've been living in for like the last 10 years. Like, how long must we live like this? How long must we live with guilty until proven innocent? Like, is there an end to it? Are my children going to be forced to live in this shit? Because I know it wasn't always like that. Like, I know it's actually possible, staggering, bewildering, I know. But, like, at some point, someone did say, we can actually live with innocent until proven guilty. And maybe it's not like 100%, you know? Like, maybe it's not 100% of the cases. Maybe it doesn't always have. But, like, can we have, like, the majority of cases at least? Like, can we go for 60? Can we go for, like, 60% of the cases where it's innocent until proven guilty? Can we try to that? And if we go to 60, can we then make for a 65? Like, slowly, maybe we can get there. I'm so sick and tired of this cancel culture bullshit. Like, people see it. They know it's wrong. They know it's vile. Like, you have seen so many people getting Me Too'd for no reason whatsoever. Like, at what point can we say enough? When is it, like, is it ever going to stop? Like, if it's the year 2055, are people going to still cancel culture, right? Like, yeah, you don't have to live like this. It's not even idealism. It's like, it literally happened. Like, there are societies that actually worked on innocent until proven guilty. So, like, why can't we bring that back? Like, if you don't fight for it, you're never going to get it. He's a commander-in-chief. Yes, it's a crime. But so what? We aren't talking about justice, just power of office and military good thought experiment. To be fair, though, I think, like look, if he does something like this, constitutionalists are going to start having opinions. Scotus already said that the president, like, everything he does while exercising his power is giving him immunity, which is kind of true. I mean, think about it. Every drone strike, right? Like, if the president wouldn't have immunity, it would be murder. Every single decision that the president makes, like when he drone strike that boat in Venezuela, or when he took the Venezuelan president, right? Like, I understand maybe he was guilty, but I think, like, they killed his guard. Like, his guard wasn't guilty, right? And so, like, if the president doesn't have immunity, then any single tactical decision that he makes would consider him an accomplice. Like, there was a drone strike during Obama era, and I think, like, an American citizen got drone strike, right? So, like, if the president didn't have immunity, then he's an accomplice to murder. Like, that American citizen didn't commit a crime. He just happened to be in the wrong place. Or maybe he was targeted and he was in the right place. Who knows? But you get my point. Still, like, if Donald Trump is in a New York prison and he was to order the military to get him out, what if, like, a guard gets killed? Right? Like, think about it. Like a guard that's in the prison just doesn't want to comply. It's like, no, I'm doing my lawful duty. You want to make me a martyr? Make me a martyr. And he just doesn't want to move. Are they going to shoot him? Are they going to physically... Well, what if he opens fire? He's like, no, you're on government property. You're not allowed. This is unlawful. No, like, it would have been a clusterfuck. And secondly, even if it did happen, there would be pressure on politicians to stop working with him. Like, they would consider him a madman. It's how legitimacy works. Like, you need legitimacy, right? If Trump was to actually get convicted and arrested in New York, it would have created a huge legitimacy issue. Can go back when left suffers as much as the right. Yeah, but we're talking about right people now. Okay, like, we're still talking about right-wingers, and we're talking about innocent until proven guilty. Elon Musk, for example, is not a leftist. Elon Musk has campaigned with Donald Trump. I don't think that innocent until proven guilty applies. Now, even to the leftists, no, like, even to the left, like, this is not something that I'm willing to, I mean, I myself, like, everyone else can have different thoughts and opinions, but, normalizing a judicial system that's guilty until proven innocent, I don't think it's good. And if the system is already normalized, like, we have to denormalize it. If something can be normalized, I think it can be denormalized. Have I read the diaries of the EFTA 0273134? Not yet. Not yet. The problem with the diaries, though, and all of this, it's like, look, this is the internet. Everyone can write whatever. There needs to be a judicial investigation. I can't verify if the person is sane of mind. I can't verify if the person was honest or not. I can't even verify if that thing is AI or not. Like, you need discovery. You need an actual judge to go through the process of discovery. And they need to figure it out. Because, like, here's another one. There was this other chick that said that Trump molested her. And it turns out that she was batshit insane. But leftists were spreading that as if it's the gospel. And then you looked at her psych eval, and she was insane. And she had other accusations about Hillary Clinton and stuff. Like, that chick enjoyed being in the public spotlight accusing politicians. And so, if I just see a journal from someone, it's like, that's nice. Where's the prosecution? If you spray paint the statue of Lenin in Seattle, what the fuck is there a statue of Lenin in Seattle? To be honest, though, like, it's probably one of the few cities in America where there would be a Lenin statue. Like, I wouldn't see a Lenin statue in Texas, right? But, like, Seattle, I would see it. That's the Summer of Love place. I would see a statue of Lenin in Portland. To be honest, I wouldn't see a statue of Lenin in San Francisco. Those are communists, but they're American communists. They're with the woke shit. They're not with the kulaks and the Russian Tsar and no. They're with the wokeness. Lenin wasn't with the wokeness. They're with the Che Guevara. I genuinely don't know why Che Guevara is such an American symbol. Like, Che Guevara, for those of you who don't know, is a very raging homophobic, right? So, like, hold on, let me show you something with Che Guevara. Every single leftist has a t-shirt of him. And it was even at the March of Our Lives, there was this leftist. She was queer. So this is his Wikipedia page, right? Che Guevara. Look at him. He looks like a Sam Piker, doesn't he? Huh? He was a live streamer, I guess. But yeah, let's look for this word. You know, cigarette. Let's see where we can find it. All right. So, during Guevara's time in Algeria, he was interviewed by a Spanish poet, Juan Goitisolo, inside the Cuban embassy. During the interview, Guevara noticed a book by openly gay Cuban writer Virgilio Pinera that was sitting on the table next to him. When he noticed it, he threw the book against the wall and said, "How dare you have in our embassy a book this foul, faggot?" This moment has been marked as a turn in Gustilo's personal identity, as it influenced him to slowly become out of the closet as gay and begin to sympathize with the LGBT citizens of Cuba. During this voyage, he wrote a letter to Carlos Quintano, editor at Uruguayan Week, which was literally titled Socialism and Man in Cuba. The laws of capitalism bind and invisible to the majority act upon the individual without his thinking about it. He sees only the vastness of a seemingly infinite horizon before him. That is how it is painted by capitalist propagandists who purport to draw a lesson from the example of Rockefeller. Rockefeller and the amount of depravity that he does by accumulating of a fortune of such magnitude. You know what I love about Rockefeller? Like, either if you're a communist or you're a Nazi, you will hate him. This is something that most people don't know. Communists hated Jews because they believed they bring capitalism. Capitalists hate Jews because they believe they bring communism. I'm not kidding. Like, you can go on Wikipedia. You can watch, like, different articles. And you can see, like, how communists think about the Jews and why they dislike him. Even Karl Marx, which was a Jew himself, he hated Jewish people because he was a communist. He was a self-hating Jew. My goodness, like Karl Marx has like some of the most anti, like seriously, this, I don't know how like this managed to go underneath the ADL. But listen, and I'm not kidding, like this is legit. Hitler's actual Mein Kampf is less offensive towards Jewish people than Karl Marx's writings on Jewish people. Like Karl Marx didn't write about the Jews in Das Kapital. He had a couple of publications to newspapers, and he had opinions about Jews and money. And they said that the money is the Jewish God. And he goes on and on and on and on and on. Like to the point where I genuinely wonder, like if I was to read Karl Marx on his opinion about the religious folk, if I would still be able to have a YouTube channel. Right? But it's fascinating. Like, the reason he disliked them is because he believed they bring capitalism. The reason Hitler disliked them is because he believed they bring communism. And I think both of them were correct. Blue Stellar Wave, thank you for the 12 euros. What statue would you expect in Texas? Something with an immigrant at this point, you know, like a large human trafficker, like a coyote or something like that. He would probably put it in his own mansion, though, like not in a public place, but like they're probably being built. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see, Texas. I don't know. I mean, you probably already have like it would have to be a Confederate statue, wouldn't it? It would have to be. I don't know if they took all of them down. Were there like Confederate statues in Texas? See, like, look, I'm European. Like, come on, I'm making an effort. At least I know where Texas is on a map. All right. Most Europeans don't know where Liechtenstein is on a map, so. Trump should get a statue in Texas. Doesn't he already? You'll ask Grocky. Davy Crockett. From a European perspective, when I think of Texas, I think of guns and oil. A statue of JR from Dallas. I think that's what I think when I hear Texas. Like, in my opinion, all Texas speak the same. You know, like, is that racist to say? Because, like, I'm not saying all Texans look the same. I'm saying all Texans speak the same. All of them are savages because they walk with boots on carpet. Like, I'm pretty sure, I'm willing to bet money on this. If there are any Texans in my chat, if I was to invite you in my house right now to give you some of my wife's lasagna, you would not take off your boots when you enter my humble abode. You would walk in with boots in your feet. And that is like beyond savagery. Like, no European accepts that. But anyway, right. So, all Texans speak the same. All of them have oil in their backyard. Like, they're rich as fuck. Some of them have immigrants in their backyard. Those aren't rich. I mean, technically they are rich, but like the immigrants, they lower the property value. So, they're the rogue star. That's what they call themselves, right? Because like they're usually so right wing that they have different opinions than everyone else. Apparently, Texans are saying that they do take their boots off. I don't know. I've never seen a Texan taking his boots off. And I think like some of you have ranches, like really big ranches with a lot of horses. Texan would probably have a statue of the dude that invented the AR. That isn't that a Russian? Isn't that the Kalashnikov? Was the no? Hold on. Like the Kalashnikov can't be the assault rifle, the first assault rifle. What is fascinating though is like the Kalashnikov seems to be the ultimate rifle. Like there is nothing more left to perfect. Like the Kalashnikov, sure, like you can make a better rifle that, has better handling or whatever. But when it comes to cost effectiveness, like when it comes to like making the rifle that is cheap enough to mass produce and useful enough to be reliable and to work in any condition, the Kalashnikov is literally the weapon. Eugene Stoner invented the Armalite rifle. Okay. Well, the chat knows. Look, I'm not American. Like, I'm afraid of guns. But the thing with the Kalashnikov, I think, is true. I think that it is actually considered to be like the world's best rifle, which is why like it was invented so long ago, and people still use it. Like even now, it's still being produced. And if I'm not mistaken, it's actually banned in the United States, kinda ish, but not really. If you happen to have like a Kalashnikov in the US right now, I think you can sell it to others. But if you want to buy a Kalashnikov, I think you can't. I think you can't because like they banned it because it was competing with American companies because it's made in Eastern Europe, and it was very popular. So, and the same with Uzi. Like I've noticed that I don't see Uzis in movies anymore, and they were fucking cool. They look really cool, right? You don't get to see them. And the reason for it is that I think like Israel was making them and they got banned. Like they had like a contract with movie suppliers and they got banned. I'm a European conservative. Hey. Look, in Romania, absolutely no one is drafted. Like there are no shooting ranges. It has the safest gun laws in the world. And so, yes, if you put a gun in front of a European, it's scary. They banned import from former Soviet Union. Yeah, so I was right. Right? Like, if you have a Kalashnikov in the US right now, you can sell it. Like, you can buy one that's already in the US. You can't import another from Russia. I think the ban still stands. Stop talking about guns, though. There's a ton of semi-auto versions of AKs and Uzis in the US. Yes, I already mentioned this. Like, I mentioned the exception. If it's already in the US, you can still sell it. You can still buy it. But if you want to buy one that's just produced off the shelves right now, I think you can't. You have a hunting license? I see. I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. Guns are extremely scary. You know, like, the only way you can make a gun not be scary is if you paint it pink and you put an anime girl on it. Hold on, let me... How do you write gun with anime girl? Okay, I think I found it. Right. So, this is the Yandere pink assault rifle. If you have this, it's not as scary. I can't explain why. I do not know. Seriously, like I can be a case study. Like if you want to know how Democrats think, when it comes to guns, I think like I'm half broken. Like I would still be in favor of a Second Amendment in Romania. Okay. However, with that said, I would be afraid of guns. Like, does that make any sense? Like, I'm afraid of it, but I would want it to exist. But I'm scared of it. And so, I can explain my fear. I think it's a phobia. Like, there is no rational reason to be afraid of it. I understand that. But despite the fact I can't control it. And so if you put this on a table, I would not be afraid because it's pink. If you painted black, I would be afraid. Like, I would exit the room. I would look for the exit. I'm not kidding. It is unexplainable. But like this is gorgeous. This is kind of cool. I would buy this for my kid. It's awesome. If it's black, it's not awesome. I would be afraid of it. I wouldn't touch it myself. So there you fucking go. How do you understand my position? No one understands my position. I don't fucking understand my position. I literally don't understand because it's not logical. Like, I understand both of these, regardless of color, shoot bullets and kill people at the same velocity. They do exactly the same thing. I don't know why if it's black it's scary, if it's pink it's nice. I can't explain it. But you say you understand my position. How can you understand my position if I don't understand my position? Come to Australia, you shoot by city pickers. Didn't they like actually ban your guns in Australia? By the way, like they arrested this very Chad Australian individual, which had like. Hold on, I will show you something that makes Americans sad. I mean, look. If this guy was in the United States, he would have had like a group of people trying to defend him from not getting arrested. Like, look at this.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the guy really, really, really liked guns. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Chad. Uh-oh, look at that. Holy shit. Holy shit, Chad. Holy shit. I just want you to understand. The guy had this under his house. He had a fucking Batman cave. Do these police officers have no heart? Like, with this level of dedication, I would just, like, try to accommodate him somehow. I would be like, okay, you know, fuck, look, we're going to give you a fine, but we're also going to find out a way so that you can have this, because you're not a, like, this is not a John Wick type of person, okay? Like, John Wicks, in real life, they only have one gun. You don't need to drag attention by having 100. Like, you usually have, like, one, maybe two guns, and you have a lot of bullets, right? Like, if you see someone with, like, one gun and a lot of bullets, that's a dangerous person. If you see someone with, like, 500 guns, that's a gun nut. No. Like, most people that actually end up being criminal, they don't have, like, 600 guns. Did you notice that, right? It makes fucking sense. Like, why would you need so many? You only need, like, one or two. If one jams. Or maybe, like, one for distance, one for short range. Like, fine. But, like, if you see a guy that has like 800 bullets, you go to wonder. It's like, okay, he's got like two guns and he's got 800 bullets. Why does he have 800 bullets? Like how many? You know, like right? Like that makes sense. Meanwhile, if you see a guy with a Batman cave, it's like, and he's married. Like, come on, you know, like there's no fucking way. Like this guy is not a danger to society. He had enough guns to face the police. Nice video recommendations. What do I have recommended? Oh yeah, I listen to a lot of music, right? So let's see what I got recommended here. Nightwish, Last Ride of the Day. Horny Money World, this one is really good. Pain is Salvation from the Europea Universalis. Don't radicalize me, Miss Amelia. I understand I'm not supposed to watch that one because it's like I watched it with my wife, but I understand it's not okay. It's a romance comedy. Not allowed. You can't watch romance comedies. Verboten. You gotta watch Netflix. You gotta watch some American LGBT stuff. You gotta watch those queer kids. You gotta watch like American shit. Don't watch Nagatoro. That sexualizes it. It sexualizes. It's not good. It's not good. Sexualizes. Oh, okay. I was just having a laugh. I like the funny faces she makes. It's hilarious. Watched it with my wife. Watched it with my wife 5 years ago. Yeah. When I was seducing her. I was seducing my wife and I was like, let me show you Anime Woman. And we watched it. And she laughed. And I judged her. It's like, how can you find this disgusting filth appealing, woman? Miss Amelia is the best. Yes, she is. Anime and chill, yeah. See, like, I didn't even think it at the time, but, like, the internet pointed out, like, don't you know that Nagatoro is 16? And I was like, no! Holy shit! Well, it's I mean, if she's 16, that's, wow. All of a sudden, it stopped being funny. And I never watched it since. Seriously, I never watched it since. Like, it's been 5 years, and I haven't watched Don't Bully Me, Miss Nagatoro. I understand, like, a new season came out. I haven't watched it. I'm not going to. I don't want to be judged by people on the internet. No. Courting. Yes, courting. Seducing is low class. 16 is legal where I live as well, and not to mention there's those sex scenes, but like we raised the bar, okay? Like it used to be watching anime with characters that were prepubescent was problematic, right? Like Louis Leval watched, like okay, that's horrible. But then it was like no, watching anime with characters that are 16 is bad. Okay, well, I mean, fair enough. Now we're raising the bar again. Now it's sexualizing. So, like, even if the anime has no sex scenes in it, or it's made for mainstream consumption, if it sexualizes, well, you can't watch it. Okay, well, we're going to raise the bar even further at some point if it has a woman in it, you know, like in the West. Like, look at the West, at video games and comic books. If a woman doesn't look like a non-binary transgender, then it's a problem. We're going to end up with that in anime as well. Sure, why not? What did happen to Pastor Louis? I've not managed to maintain contact with him. I haven't spoken with him in 4 years. I think he got a job in the government, and he decided to stop streaming because he really likes his job. He was actually practicing a very interesting craft, which sounds really awesome until you realize just how boring it probably is. He was a detective. He was trying to find people that scam on insurance policy. So you had individuals that went to work. Boss, I broke my back. I'm going to need insurance and I need time off. And the boss would hire Pastor Louis. I'll be like, you need to find out if this guy really broke his back. And Pastor Louis would go. He would try to find. And he would see the guy playing basketball and said, it's not good. It's not good. Well, Pastor Louis may have been religious, but he suspected that Jesus did not heal that man. And that was his job. Apparently, he had someone pull a gun on him, telling him to move away. He did. I asked him, it's like, so like, are there like more people of color that do this? It's like, no. You need to have a job in order to do this, right? Because like in order to call sick from, so like there's a lot of white people. Because in order to do like insurance fraud, you need to work somewhere, right? And I was like, I mean, I guess it makes sense when you put it like that. I wanted to call him a racist, but like the way he framed it, it's like, well, no, because like you need to have a job in order to say that you're scamming for insurance, right? V, you know what breaking your back means? No, Derna, please explain to me. What does it mean to break your back? Uh... Tonka lost? He didn't show up to the fight. I don't know what the fuck was in Tonka Saw's head. I genuinely don't. Like, look. There used to be this guy. I don't know if he's streaming or not. I'm not in bad terms with him, by the way. I never was. His name was Tonka Saw. And Tonka Saw, he had a podcast. And it was a very famous podcast. It was way better than mine. Like, at this peak, he had, I think, like 3,000, 4,000 people watching. He was making money, hand over fist. It was called the Kumate. You guys remember that? The internet blood sports, you know. Anyway, Tankasaw had this thing. He would become very antagonistic online in order to, like, he would accuse you of shit that you didn't do in order for you to defend yourself. And to defend yourself, you had to come on his show. And you'd come on his show and he would make super chats, right? Like, that's literally how it works. Like, it would accuse someone of doing something, and then that person would defend themselves. And that was the business model. But, like, something that Tonkasaw did, which no one else did, would be to say that he wants to beat people up. He was basically saying that he's a wrestler and that he wants to beat people up. That was his thing. Okay. Now that works until someone actually said, okay, fine, let's go. Let's go. And that person was Andy Worski. Now, Andy Worski, when he actually accepted the challenge from Mr. Tonkasaw, he looked like Gollum. I think he may have done drugs or some shit. Like, seriously, I'm not. I think like he himself said it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But like, anyway, like Andy Worski was also running a very successful podcast, and he was also making a lot of money. And I think like yeah, he was using some of those funds in order to consume some substances. He was doing substance abuse. And he looked like Gollum. Like he was with a jacket over the top of his head that he was slouching. And so I think like Tonka said, you know what? Even if he accepted, I think I can take him. Which is like fair enough. Because like I saw how Tonka looks. I saw how Andy looks. And I was like, yeah, if they get in the ring, I mean, alright. But here's the thing. This is what happened. Andy Worski actually goes and he works out. Like, he actually hires a trainer and he starts, like, legitimately training at the gym. He's doing exercises, he's doing everything, and he's, like, losing weight, he's getting into shape. And Tonka doesn't. And Tonka gets scared. He gets, like... You get like really scared of Andy, and I understand him, you know, like I'm not saying that I don't. But at no point does he cancel the fight. Like he still talks mad shit. He's gonna do it, he's going to do it. And the thing is like the fight requires some blood works. And all of a sudden he's pussying out. It's like, no, like you can't do the test. And it's like, well the test came, but like you can't do it. It's like, what the fuck is this? People were buying tickets. Like this is what really upset people. Like a lot of individuals actually spend money to go to that event, and they bought plane tickets, they bought hotel accommodations, they paid for the actual event because Tonka said he's coming, and Andy said, okay, we're fighting, and people wanted to see the event. And he pussied out. And that's why people lost respect, and that's when his show died. Now the thing that I don't get, and up until this day, I don't understand it. It's like, my brother in Christ, go and take a beating. Like, let's be serious about it. Go and take a beating. Like, if you go around on the internet and you challenge people, and you're like, I want to beat him up, and someone says, okay, let's fight. Like, we got a match, right? Like, we can organize it. We can get Keemstar to organize a match. And we're going to have this event where we're going to have people go and get a beating. Boogie went. Like, I want people to understand, fucking Boogie went and got a beating. From, what was it? Redemption Wings, right? But he went. He showed up. Like, go, throw some punches, get hit, and then you cash in, right? Shake hands. That's all he had to do. That's literally all he had to do. He could have shown up. Maybe he doesn't win. That's fine. Shakes hands with Andy. Chat would have loved it. And people would have respected, okay, he showed up. Even if you get knocked out, like, what's his name? Cobra Tate. Right? Like Andrew Tate. He got knocked out recently. Okay. People laughed. But he still has his reputation. Jake Paul got knocked out. It's like, okay. Andy went to another fight later and got one-shotted. I probably tuned out. I don't know about that. At that point, you just get in the ring and get your ass kicked. People bought tickets. Come on, dude. Well, yeah, exactly, right? Like, he was making really good money. That's the thing. Like, he was making really good money, and I never made fun of him with the wheelchair meme and everything else. Like, maybe he had back issues, which is something you can disclose. Like, seriously, if you would have gotten to Andy and he would have said before the show, like, look, man, I got, like, really nasty back issues. I talk bad shit on the internet. It is what I do. But I got some really nasty back issues. Like, please don't knock me out. Like, I'm fighting. But, like, please don't hospitalize me, okay? Like, if you'd have done that, I'm pretty sure, like, most people would have understood. But, okay, it is what it is. But even if he didn't want to fight, right? Like, maybe he could come up with a medical excuse and he could actually show a doctor's note. Literally just by being there and shaking hands with people and staying there, like, it would have not made him crash the show, but, yeah. You ever look at Tate's fight record? It's only like 3 dudes that fight him, and he lost twice. No, I actually never did that. I never. I have no idea. Like, I know people say that he did kickboxing, and he's called Cobra Tate, but like I haven't actually looked into his fight history. Anyway, chat. It's been great talking to you guys. Wow, it's already been 1 hour and 10 minutes. Holy shit. I do need to go. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.